Hello and welcome back to Most Clicked. Now we're trying something a little bit different now. We are going to try doing these episodes every week, Monday, 9 a.m. So as you know, Most Clicked is all about what is the hottest topic in higher education, digital marketing. And hopefully now, Mondays at 9 a.m., it'll be able to set you up for the week. So I'm joined as ever with good friends Kyle and Matt. If you do like this content, please remember to subscribe and like to this video. And yeah, over to you, Kyle. Kyle, what is our hot topic for the week?
Hey, hot topic was all about, funnily enough, flexible working and remote work, which I think your clients, Nath, will be certainly speaking about at the moment. It was an article I read in Inside Higher Ed, which is a US publication for the HE sector over there. And they're responding to the return to campus quite differently to the UK. I think the default mode there is getting people back in, which is fair enough. But the piece sets up the contrasting view between Boston University and Virginia Tech. And Boston, probably as you would expect, a little bit like culture is quite important. You should probably be back on campus 3 days a week. Whereas Virginia Tech's like, yeah, we've been thinking about remote work since before the pandemic, and we've got a bit more of a flexible policy in place. But it's really interesting to talk about this in the context of what's happening with UK higher ed, because I don't know about you guys, but I haven't spoken to someone who's given me the same answer about what's happening. So I don't know about you, Nate. What's the default view from the universities you work with? Are they going still flexible, or are they heading back to campus?
I think I have been on record this week as saying if hybrid doesn't turn out to be the Oxford Dictionary word of the year, I will eat my hat. That's everyone's talking about hybrid working at the moment. I do think there's a general consensus. Most universities that I speak to seem to be kind of, we need to be in the office more than we're not in the office sort of thing. So a lot of 3 days expected, but there's also a lot of a lot of R-ing about that and seeing if that needs to be the case, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I just feel like this genie's out of the bottle now, and I don't think it's fair to say that people haven't worked really effectively when probably 80% of them were remote, and I don't feel it's easy to push that away. And we can't ignore like the great sort of advantages it's given a lot of people, especially like family commitments and enjoying their life a little bit more than perhaps they would have if they were commuting like 2 hours a day or whatever it is. And I just feel like going forward as well, and we've spoken about this on other shows, but we have a change in nature of a workforce. Like we've got Gen Z starting in the workforce, we've got millennials becoming like a huge part of it now. They're making up the majority of the workforce, and these generations are much more comfortable working in this sort of like digital sort of focused way, aren't they? So I don't know about you, but I just feel that this change, even if you're pushing it back and trying to get a return to everyone on campus again, it's not going to stick for very long because we'll start to lose talent and people start bouncing off to other places.
Yeah, for me, it breaks down boundaries now, and we've gone as an agency, we've gone completely remote now. And if you'd asked me 3 years ago, was that on the cards? It definitely wasn't.
No.
We were kind of adamant that no, we needed an office, we needed to have everybody in the same room. And it's amazing what happens when your hand is forced and you're pushed into this change. And we quickly realised that actually it can work. People continue to do what they were doing in the office, and the big change for me is it's about fitting work around life rather than the other way around. We've got staff now who live up in Edinburgh, and they can go back to their home countries for 2 weeks, 3 weeks in the summer and carry on working, not take all of that as annual leave. Just offers so much more flexibility.
There does, I think there's a disconnect though between typically, not saying everywhere, But typically, there does seem to be a disconnect between management and staff. I think a lot of staff are basically going, why? They're kind of questioning it. Why have I got to go back? And management never seem to really have a solid answer for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, isn't it? I mean, there's obviously there's, especially for operational level, you're not shielded is the wrong word, but a good manager will sort of protect you from all that stuff that is coming down, and sometimes it is those decisions that you aren't quite party to. But it's really interesting. I mean, the variety of responses. Some universities and colleagues I know, they're still working dominantly remote, and there doesn't seem to be any change from that. These are large universities I'm talking about too, and I won't name them because it's all kind of all over the sector and different responses to different things. But I know major universities, huge universities, really complex structures, like massive portfolios. They're leaning into this remote work, and it's working for them. So it can be done. It's not like it's just a university specialising in tech or something that doesn't necessarily require people to be on campus. These are massive portfolios, variety of degrees on offer.
I think it's surprising that it's the minority, or at least it seems to me that it's that's the minority. And I kind of thought that, at least for things like professional services, people like us in kind of marketing, digital, all that sort of stuff, I thought that that wouldn't be the minority, really. And I watched this thing the other day about it, and it was talking about the framing of it. So how managers are framing the argument, if you like, of coming back to the office. And I think the backlash comes from how it's framed. And at the moment, I see a lot of framing which staff look at it and go, well, all the benefits are for the employer, they're for management in me coming back into the office. There's no benefit to me. And I think that's really to kind of look at this argument. The framing needs to be, how does it benefit the staff? How does it benefit people that are actually doing the work here? And then I think if it's framed in that way, people might be more open to have that discussion. But given that at the moment, all the benefits seem to be heavily loaded towards management and basically, having people on site for their reasons, that doesn't feel compelling to the workforce, I don't think.
No, I mean, and it's difficult. I mean, I think anything that has to be put in place usually has to be done at like a director or a team level. Like for marketers, I know some universities are doing like for 1 day a week, everyone in the team's back in, and people are okay with that because everyone's there. You're not having meetings, and you're doing it on Zoom anyway because 2 people can't attend, and you have that benefit then of everyone in the same time, and you can talk to people, and you can have that sort of semi-social experience or doing all that collaborative time that's easier face to face. But the rest of the time, you can sort of crack on and taking all the stuff you got from that day and then focus when you work from home. And it's different for different sort of marketing roles, but I know certainly my background in terms of content creation, it's useful to come together for a set time per week and then go off and focus on what you need to create to do your marketing.
Well, let's maybe take one more point on this before we wrap up for the week. I mean, Matt, hybrid meetings, we've tried them. You got any thoughts on hybrid meetings?
I mean, I think Kyle's point there makes a lot of sense. I agree that face-to-face contact is useful. We do it in our team. We met just the other week all together. The hybrid approach to meetings is just a little strange. We've done it with a few clients where 90% of people have been in the room with the other 10% on Zoom calls, and you just end up with a TV with someone's face on it, and you almost forget that they're even involved. So for me, it doesn't feel as natural, and I think it would perhaps be better to have that set time where you do come together, and like Kyle says, then you go away and focus in your own time.
Well, that is the hot topic, I think, and I don't think it's the hot topic of the week. I do think it's going to be the hot topic of the year. So it'd be really interesting. I mean, if any of our audience does have an opinion, we'd love to hear it. Maybe we can revisit this later in the year. Who knows? But yeah, don't forget to subscribe, follow, and leave a comment if you've got something to say on the topic. But for now, we will see you next week, Monday, 9 a.m. See you soon.